Okay, good morning. Good morning, guys. It's been a while. We've had a busy couple of weeks here at Trader Support Club. We've been relaunching our new spreadsheet, so our new data sheet. We've been adding to that. We've had a lot going on. We've got strategies running. Markets have picked up a little bit as well, which is good. Now, this video, really important one. This wasn't the video that I was going to do, but I felt it was really important. This has come off the back of a discussion that we've had in the trading room this week. And really, I think this is so important because one of the things that happens is people get into trading for lots of different reasons, but no one, well, there's almost a set of things that happen in trading that no one tells you about. So this video is really about what no one tells you about trading, or what no one lets you know about trading before you get into it. Because a lot of what's marketed out there is the 95% win-loss ratios. A lot of traders are only showing you the good times, they're only showing you the trades that they win on. And in a way, all traders can be a little bit guilty of that. Even in the past, I've done the same. Sometimes the video that goes up is of the winning trade and it's not of the losing trade. But recently I was doing a webinar and I was showing people my results from I was showing my results from last year, and I was showing them August. Now, August last year, I had 7 winners, 2 losers, and 2 break-even trades. And the reason why I was showing them that particular month in line with all the other months, and I focused on that month, was because on the face of it, that month where I had 7 losers and 2 winners, most traders that would have 7 losers and 2 winners would end up with a massive losing month. But because of how I manage my trades and I focus on risk to reward rather than win-loss, that was actually a month where it was a losing month, but it was only about £100 losing month, which is effectively almost break even for me. So the idea of talking about what no one talks about is so important, because for me, a lot of traders will give up too soon or get out of trading or not follow through with what they're doing because they hit one of these kind of obstacles, these obstacles that all traders go through, but a lot of traders don't talk about, and as a result they walk away. So this is such an important topic. Now, what's happened recently? We've had a new trader, and I was posting this in our private Facebook group. We've had a new trader that's come in, and in his first 3 months of trading, risking only 1% maximum per trade, is up 13% for that 3-month period. Okay, and what's interesting is, what I really like about this is that he has had losing trades within that. So one of the key things that nobody really talks about is the inevitability of losing runs. Now, if you mention that to a new trader and you say to them, look, you know you're going to have periods where you have losing runs. Well, they always acknowledge it intellectually. But what happens is no one really talks about it when it's actually happening. So that result of 13%, I was really pleased about, because within that 13%, he had losing periods on his trades. It wasn't as if he made 13% purely by winning. And then last night in the trading room, we were working with one of our other traders, and he was been up 20% in 6 weeks. So he's had a really good run. And then he had 4 losing trades in 2 days. And the phrase that he uses, I've had a bit of a reality check. And I really like the fact that he used that phrase, because a reality check is the right way to look at it. Sometimes it's easy to get carried away. So what no one really talks about, and I'm going round the houses a little bit here, but I'm going to focus on the key one, is nobody talks about the inevitability of, number one, winning runs and losing runs regardless of your trading experience. There is this almost unconscious assumption, and I tested this last night in the trading room with our new traders. There's this unconscious assumption that as you progress as a trader, so you've been in the game 5 years, 6 years, that what's going to happen is you're going to get better at picking winning trades, or your win-loss ratio is going to go up. When invariably that isn't the case. In fact, what you see a lot of the time is as traders get better, their win-loss ratio, so the number of winners versus losers, doesn't actually change that much And in some cases, it actually comes down. But what gets better is their ability to run trades for longer. So it's a really interesting one, as no one talks about the inevitability of winners and losing runs happening. And if you were out with some of my close trading friends, some of the guys have been trading for 30 years, the one thing we all have in common is there is never a year that goes past without a period where we're losing. So it's a really important thing that needs to be talked about more with traders, is the fact that the inevitability of winning runs and losing runs regardless of your level of experience. And the second thing that often is not really talked about, or no one tells you about, is the way that as a trader you will react to those runs. And it's something that is inevitable. We as traders, we as humans are not wired to trade. Our brain doesn't work in the optimum way to trade. So regardless of whether you've been trading for 3 months or 3 years, you will still react relative to what is happening. So if you're going through a losing run, it's not going to make you feel good. If you're going through a winning run, you're likely to feel more positive about your trading. So the key thing that no one really talks about is understanding how that impacts you. And as a trader, one of the things that is key, especially if you can do this in your first 3, 6 months to a year, is be aware of how you are impacted and work on reducing the emotional kind of impact or the emotional reliance on trades winning and the impact that your emotions have relative to that. Another thing no one really talks about, and this is something that I've seen a lot over the years, is the idea of focusing on a specific goal. So having a goal of, say, 20% return a quarter or 50% return a year. But one of the things that doesn't get talked about enough is the ability for a trader to be flexible in that goal. So one of the things that I see not really ever getting discussed in any shape or form is this idea that you have to have a long-term view but be aware of what is going on short-term. So a lot of traders are reacting short-term and changing their strategy and changing their approach. And what no one really tells you is you have to be able to go with the ebbs and flows. And another one that nobody tells you, and I see this a lot, is that when you are having a bad run, or you're having a losing period, or you're really sitting about break even, that you're going to end up seeing trades or seeing other traders in your community or in your group doing well. And this is something that a lot of traders don't realize, is that often if they've chosen to trade a specific with the trend strategy and markets have been consolidating for a while, then they may have opportunities that aren't running, the trades aren't moving in their direction. And as a result of that, they aren't getting the results they want. But other traders with a slightly different strategy are performing well in that. They might be trading a breakout strategy with a slightly smaller target, and they're hitting really good numbers. So you have to understand that sometimes when your strategy isn't working for you, those conditions are optimal for somebody else. And the skill there is not to react and change and start trading something different simply because somebody else is doing well in that moment and you're not. And vice versa. When you're doing well, you tend to not focus on what other people are doing. So it's really 3 things, is understanding that losing is inevitable, and regardless of experience, you are still going to have losing runs or quiet periods as your trading career progresses. Number 2 is your reaction to winning and losing runs. No one really talks about how that impacts you as a trader. And then lastly, that awareness that if it's going well for you, it may not be going so well for somebody else, and vice versa, and being able to go with the ebbs and flows of your trading. Good, I hope that was useful. I will be back. I'm aiming to get 2 of these out next week. So feel free as well to send in, so message into Trader Support Club if there's anything that you would like me to cover on these videos. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll catch up with you soon.